Thank you for watching this YouTube video today. Today I'm going to be going over Righteous Fire and how to make it more effective for you. It's actually kind of a hard skill to use. You need a lot of regen. You need a lot of everything. My character right now, she has an okay amount of regen, but she still does not have enough. On my tree, I get 2% here, 1.5% here, so that's 3.5%. Then I get another here, so that's 4.5%, and that's all I have on the tree for regen. Oh, 5.5. So I get 5.5% regen, which isn't enough. And then even with that, and then using Vitality, Vitality gives me another, what level is it? Gives me another 1.5%. So it's at like 6. It's at 7% regen. Even with 7% regen, it's still not enough because I'm also not where I need to be for fire resist for this to work out. But I'm at the point where it doesn't instantly kill me or anything, so I'm not too afraid of dying. But so that's why I'm going to still show it and show how to make it effective. So when you turn it on, by itself, it drains your life by 70% of your, 90% of your maximum life as fire damage. And then it also drains 70% of your energy shield as fire damage. And it does that all at once, so it takes all of that into account. So the energy shield I'm getting is actually increasing the damage I'm taking from this in the end. What? Where am I? Oh, I'm in Merciless. Probably shouldn't be doing this in Merciless. But yeah, so it kind of gives you an idea of what it does. And what Righteous Fire does is when you use it, it puts this ring around you, and inside this ring, it does damage to anything inside of that. And as you could see over here, I'm doing damage to myself because of the fire resist. Isn't high enough, so you would have to have at least 90% fire resist, because then you can also use a ruby flask. As you saw there, I used this ruby flask for a second, and it made it so I could actually regen life, and that's what you're shooting for. So you need to at least hit 90 fire resist, and then from there you also need a certain amount of life regen in order to be able to sustain it. This character is not built for Righteous Fire even in the slightest. And this is using Righteous Fire not for the spell damage that it gives you. This is for using, there's two ways of using Righteous Fire. The way I'm trying to use it for this particular part, I'm trying to use it more for just the burning damage that it does by itself. So to increase that burning damage, you'd want to use increased burning damage. It would increase the amount of damage Righteous Fire does in general. And then you could do increased area effect, you could do concentrated effect. Both of them increase the damage by a lot. You can also have rarity in there too. So in the 5-link, you could have all those in there, plus the increased item rarity and increased area effect. And it ends up being very potent. It ends up making it so it does just tons of damage. At this point, with just conk effect and the burning damage, like it's doing probably about, I don't know, it's a lot of damage, because it's 56% of whatever 50% of my life is, so 2,000 damage. Right now it's doing around 2,000 damage. Increase that by 56%. So if you take 2,000 by 56%, we'll just throw out the calculator here for you. So 2,000 times 1.56, so it's doing 3,000 damage, and then you take that times the conk effect damage, so times 1.6. I only have 4,000 life. This is going to be doing 5,000 damage. So even if I got a lot more life, this spell does more and more damage based off of your life. So if you had like 6,000 life, and you take a 3,000 damage multiplier times 1.56. It's really a skill that just scales super Like, it's insane how much damage this gets up to. And that's not including anything on the passive tree. That's not including any fire damage you pick up. That's just that. That's just without items, just with those gems. And 6,000 life. So, that's why the build ends up being really good, because it scales off your life. That's why the damage ends up being insane. So, when you turn it on, you just run at mobs and become a kamikaze. And then if you want to ever get rid of the burn effect, all you have to do is have a pot that removes burning. And when you do that, you remove the burning, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore. Just regen the life again, and then you can go back at it. So, I mean, you know, you can make it sort of work. It's just not the most effective way of making it work. I don't think I really care about this right now. But yeah, it gives you an idea of how to make Righteous Fire work for you. Oh, this stream. You're killing me, stream. So yeah, the other thing I would do too is you can link all that up. You also need a ton of regen. I'd probably at first, for your first character, I'd shoot for 9% regen just to sustain Righteous Fire. This character is not really a great example of this ability because she can't sustain it. But once you can sustain it, once you can do this without a pot, without a fire pot, that's when it's going to be big. That's when it's going to be doing a lot of damage, when your character ends up being super good, and it'll end up being really good for your character. You'll do a lot of damage. And so as far as gems go, that's all I would really worry about. You can also use Righteous Fire for the more spell damage modifier, and that goes up as you level the gem. And that more spell damage modifier ends up being really crazy for a lot of spells. So not only will Righteous Fire be doing a lot of damage around you, but the more spell damage modifier ends up like just working really well for you. It ends up makes spells hit really hard as long as you start stacking spell damage, which can be kind of hard on a Righteous Fire build, to be honest, because you're focusing more on life, you're focusing more on getting life regen, and you're focusing on, you know, a ton of other things just to sustain Righteous Fire. So yeah, that's what I would do as far as that. If you want to do more damage with just the Righteous Fire itself, you could grab these nodes here. This would make it so the Righteous Fire would do more burning damage. It'd be 60% more burning damage. So if we took that same calculation from before, it was what, 56 plus 60, that's 116. So take 3,000 times 2.16, that's 6,000 damage just from burning damage, and then you add in the conk effect. 6, 10,000 damage with just 2 gems, and then those 3 nodes. That's 10,000 DPS, and you didn't have to really do much for it. So you can kind of get an idea how that damage just gets insane. And you know, then you add in stuff like increased area effect down here with more area damage. You add in more increased area effect and area damage here, and then you can grab like fire damage if you wanted to. This one's not bad because it gives you a little bit of regeneration and fire damage. But just be careful though, because you can't go super crazy on fire damage and stuff. You need a lot of HP. You like health. Health is going to be your biggest damage increase, and then regen is going to be how you sustain your Righteous Fire the best way. And then you also, the item you're going to need in order to make it all work like super great, is you're going to need to use Purity of Fire, you need Elemental Adaptation and Diamond Skin, and then you also need to get a Rise of the Phoenix. You need to get this shield. because this shield ends up giving you 8% more maximum fire resist. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. And the shield itself gives some fire resist and all resist, so it's a really good shield. So yeah, and the nodes, in order to help sustain it even more, getting elemental adaptation is going to be big. Getting diamond skin with fire resist is going to be big. And then just getting life regeneration. These nodes are going to be probably very useful at the start, at least. Same with this. You're going to want Golem's Blood. You're going to want to get these eventually. Probably at the start, at least. Eventually you'd probably be able to get rid of them, but at the start, just to get it all started, you're going to have to get some of this stuff. Life regeneration. You can grab the Shaper. Shaper would give you some more. The Templar. Templar has some life regeneration. And then using the Vitality Aura will be big too. And then here's some more life regeneration here. And then if you want some more after that, you could get this stuff too. And then also coming down here to get Growth and Decay, this would give you life regeneration and also more damage to your Righteous Fire. So this damage over time area would be really good for you. Entropy would be really good too. This would increase the damage over time on Righteous Fire. So like there's a ton of options for you to increase the damage of Righteous Fire, to get a bunch of health, and just in general have a very strong character. The other thing too is with Righteous Fire, I'd use Elemental Equilibrium and then use some source of either lightning damage or cold damage, and use a Cyclone, and use Cyclone life on hit, and then all you have to do is use Cyclone and spin through people, spin through monsters, dealing cold damage every hit, and then making it so they're weak to fire damage, and then they'd be melting even more. And because of how the burning damage works with Righteous Fire, it does not trigger Elemental Equilibrium. So that means they'd get negative 50% fire resist all the time. You could also use a cast and damage taken Ice Nova. It's also definitely a good way of going. I like the life on hit way too, because with a Cyclone, because I feel like it just works out really well, and all you would need is like a little bit of cold damage on a ring. So yeah, but if you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, let me know. Let me know what I could do to improve. Thank you for watching this video. Follow me on Twitch and YouTube if you want to see more stuff like this, and I hope you have a great day.